All right, well, good evening, everybody. In the studio, we have Jeff and Zach and Jirian, and Sean will be joining us. Online, I can see Sanjay. And who else is over here? Elizabeth, hi. And Sandra. Can't quite see you, but that's okay. I'm hoping you're there and you can hear me. Remember, so tonight is a solar flow class. It's intended to go at a certain pace of deliberateness. And so that's the intention, is just take your time, like get into the state of mind that you're in your body. And that's where you want to stay for 60 minutes, all right? So to encourage that, go ahead and get in child's pose. And if you would, bring your eyeballs into the centers of their sockets. Even if your eyes are closed, that's part of your yoga gaze, your drishti. With your eyes settled in your sockets, breathe deep and slow. Your mind is focused on your breathing. Something quite remarkable can happen. The wavelengths of your brain slow down. The fluctuations of your mind become slower. And in that focused place, you have an opportunity to feel physically your hands on your mat, the length of your arms, the stretch of your back, feeling your hips and your legs all the way through your toes. Just kind of register the sensations of your body. Now, as you can, everybody take a full breath in, and then go ahead, open your mouth and let the air out. Good. Do it again. Fill all the way up, and with your mouth open, let it go. Now rise up into tabletop. Come onto your hands and knees. And we're particularly keen on alignment in this practice of Baptiste style. So it's a bone movement followed by your muscles. So knees under your hips and hands under your shoulders. As you breathe in, cow pose. Raise your head up, push your chest forward, drop your belly. And then reverse that as you exhale, roll your back up and tuck your chin toward your chest. And go ahead and do like 2 or 3 of those, cow and then cat, as slow as you can. And the slowness is tied to your slow breathing, your full breathing. Good, and after a few of those, just make your back to where it feels flat. And then lower your head and look at some one thing behind you. Perhaps on your mat or perhaps on the floor behind your mat, but I'll ask you to look at one thing only. And then lay real heavy into your middle and your index fingers. So feel those lower arm bones press down through those 2 fingers in each hand. With your gaze on one thing, breathe in. Downward facing dog, where you stretch. Go for a big opening feeling in the back of your body. And here's a good time to move a little. If you want to move your heels up and down, move your knees in and out. Work loose through the back of your legs, through your back and your neck. Work loose. It's a beautiful practice. It's such an exquisite melding of active firmness while there's still softness. Gaze is soft. Your breathing is firm. Your muscles firm. And then soften every joint in your body. Good. Fill your lungs all the way up. And I invite you to open your mouth and move that air out. Ragdoll, just walk up to your hands. And to begin, it's sometimes good to bend your knees just to start out so that your chest touches the front of your legs. And you know, maybe it's just your lower ribs to the upper part of your upper legs. Or maybe it's your mid-chest to your upper thighs. Or maybe your whole chest and on your legs. Whatever bend of your knees helps accommodate that. The act of drawing physically your body, one point of your body to another point of your body. And that's all yoga is. It's union. Bringing a point to a point. Take a full breath in. Go ahead, open your mouth and let it out. Okay, now put your hands on your mat and bring your feet either hip-width distance or touch them together. You have a choice. Good. And then place your hands together in the middle of your sacrum. I mean your sternum, sorry, sternum. That's the bone in the middle of your chest. And then make the top of your head lengthen out toward the front of your mat. So bring your shoulders up as high as your hips. Now your back's as flat as you can make it. Then bring your shoulder blades in toward the midline of your body. Draw your shoulder blades in toward your spine. And then draw your shoulder blades in to your chest. The next time you inhale, extended mountain. You stand upright and face your hands and arms toward the sky. And again, do you feel structurally aligned? All right? So your ears feel like they're over your shoulders over your hips, and your hips over your ankles. Like really solid in your skeletal system. And bring your bottom ribs into your body and expand through your mid-back. Work to breathe into your spine. Everybody inhale. And then bring your hands together in front of you. 3 ohms. Inhale. Whenever I I gotta get loose in my body, so I just ask you to firm back up. So your fingers feel firm, hands, arms, axial body, your torso, legs. Hug your leg muscles into the bones in your legs. Ground the four corners of your feet into your mat. On your next inhale, extended mountain. Raise your hands up. Exhale, fold forward. As you breathe in, come to a flat back. Exhale, you fold like you're folding an envelope, your torso over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift, high plank. I'll ask you to immediately bring attention to your core. That area of muscles underneath your belly button, pull them in toward your spine and then turn them up slightly towards your chin. That's the action of Uddiyana Bandha. Stay solid in your core, breathe in and go to low plank. Stay in low and breathe in, stay in low and breathe out. Then breathe into upward dog. Press through your shoulders with your chest. Downward facing dog. Yeah. Just a marvel, this practice, the way it stretches us open on one side and the very next moment stretching the other side. The biggest thing I can ask you to do is stretch your lungs. The more open you get them, the more open the rest of your practice will be. Get on your toes, bend your knees, look forward, inhale. While you exhale, move to the front of your mat. On your inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, you fold. Use your inhale to drive up to extended mountain. And you fold on an exhale. Come up halfway, high plank. Once there, breathe in, then go low on an exhale. Fill your lungs, draw your chest open, up dog, and open up your back and down dog. And then just ask yourself, like, what is the feeling in my hands? The idea in down dog is to have more weight back in your feet and legs than in your shoulders and hands. So really press into your middle and index fingers. Press your inner ankles back and your outer ankles down. Get on your toes, bend your knees, look forward, inhale. Exhale, walk or jump forward. Halfway lift, fold. Extended mountain. With a sense of alignment that you create, a firmness, breathe in. Exhale, bow forward. Come halfway up, high plank. And then when you're ready to exhale, you go low. When it's time to breathe in, up dog, and when it's time to breathe out, downward facing dog. Timing is critical. You hear that all the time. It's all about timing, right? And that's all we do in this practice is we time movement to a corresponding breath. And that's the flow of vinyasa. It's a beautiful place to be in. Get on your toes, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, walk or jump. Feet together, everyone. Halfway lift, fold. Right away, bend your knees, don't stand up, but rest weight more into your heels. So lean your shins back and feel like heavy in your heels, light in the front of your feet. Once you feel that sensation as you breathe in, chair pose, you stand up. Right? It takes legs, folks. It's challenging to do this pose on its own, but your legs are there for it. So really work leg strength. Take a deep breath in, bow forward. Come halfway up, high then low plank. And then when you inhale, it's for up dog, and your exhale carries you literally to downward facing dog. All right? Please take your time to set up warrior one. Move your right foot up to your right hand. It's about building. Building from the ground up. So you're cognizant that your feet are grounded into your mat because your leg muscles are causing that to happen. And from that energy of your legs and feet, you draw your chest up. Take a deep breath in, flow to low plank. And then flow with an inhale to up dog, and with your exhale, flow into down dog. And then again, you set up on purpose, warrior one, with your left foot. very cognizant, very aware of where your feet are, the positioning, the sensations, and then you draw up with confidence, with breath, alive in the moment. Feel your lungs full, flow into low. Use your inhale to expand your chest in up dog, and use your exhale to stretch your back out. I'll just ask you to set your gaze on one thing again. It's probably a different thing, and that's cool, but one thing. Get on your toes, bend your knees, inhale, then move forward. Feet together, inhale, half lift, bow. Chair pose, right? Intentional weight in your heels. Draw up through the crown of your head, fill your lungs, fold forward to a flat back, breathe in, and get into low plank, straight away or through high. And then an up dog comes with an inhale, and your down dog is it's a manifestation of an exhale. And then generate warrior one with your right foot taking the first step. All attentiveness, mindful of your body, the sensations through your legs and hips, the feeling in your back and chest. Take a deep breath in, and then you flow to low. And with an inhale, there's your up dog, and your exhale comes with a down dog. And with that same keen attention, you step into warrior one with your left foot. Step into it with purpose. The purpose to ground, the purpose to feel energized, the purpose of alignment. Take a deep breath in, and then you flow to low. With an inhale for up, and an exhale for down dog. Take a couple breaths here and retune your mind to the sensation of breathing and then all of the sensations of your body. Right now, bring your feet together at the back of your mat. Come into high plank, side plank. Move your left hand up toward the ceiling. You guys online, I can see you. You're doing awesome over there. Right? So I would maybe, instead of having your wrist right underneath your shoulder and grinding into the heel of your hand, like move your body toward the back of your mat a little bit. So you're pushing into your middle and index fingers. Right? And then flex your feet. Feel like you're standing on something solid with both feet. And take your gaze up to your top hand. Heck, put your left foot up into the sky. Take a deep breath in, low plank. And then you cause up dog with an inhale, and you're at cause in your down dog because you're exhaling. You're being at cause. Be at cause for your own health's sake. And so admire folks who come in on a Thursday night, 7 o'clock, to practice a healthy way of being. So thanks for coming out, everybody. Raise your right heel up toward the ceiling, fill your lungs. Crescent lunge, step your right toes to your right wrist, face all 10 toes to the front of your mat, and stand up. And again, alignment. Check your front knee so it's over your front ankle. And make your back heel elevate above your toes. Draw your hands to heart center, breathe in. Put your left elbow to your right thigh. And then if your neck will take it, look up over your right shoulder. There's just something about taking your gaze, taking your vision to the place where you want to go. And if you wish, open up your hands. Move your right hand high. Put your left fingertips to your mat or block. The whole idea is to stay uplifted from the ground. Grounded through your feet, certainly. The rest of your body up. Take a full breath in. Warrior two. Spin everything back around. Ground through the four corners of your feet. And on purpose, just look at the middle finger of your front hand. That's part of you. You see you. Feel you. Go into extended side angle. Touch your right fingertips to your mat or block. Right? You know, I don't know what kind of day you had. Maybe that energy's too much. You can rest your right elbow on your thigh. The thing is, lunge, if you add one letter, becomes lounge. Right? So create the lunge and stay out of the lounge. You can lounge after practice, all right? So elevate your bottom ribs up as you inhale, and on your exhale, draw your top lung back. Breathe in, and then a little more open. One more inhale, low plank. And because you're inhaling, it's time for up dog. And when it's time for you to exhale, you down dog. I like it. People going at a different pace, right? Go to breath. You have to listen to my cue of my voice to start moving. You just kind of know where we're going. So as you get led, you're breathing to where we're getting to, all right? Your pace. I invite you to truly take on slow. Put your feet together at the back of your mat. High plank, inhale, and side plank. Move your right hand up. So consider your right hand as a catalyst to raise up the entirety of your body. Right? Your hand goes up, your arm, your chest, your legs, your hips, everything up. Your gaze. Might as well just move your right foot up because it wants to play too. Breathe in and lift. Low plank. And an inhale comes with up dog, and down dog is coming from an exhale. Take a breath and reset. And raise your left heel up toward the ceiling with an inhale. Crescent lunge. Step in with intention. The intention of stability. Because yes, the twist is the main attraction of the pose. I highly recommend you twist from a place of stability. Draw your hands to your heart center, breathe in, and then right elbow to your left thigh. All right. And then maybe you can feel like, I know that I can twist one way on my body, then the other way goes more. Right? So don't overextend on one or the other side. Stay in a place of equanimity. Move your hands apart if you wish. Right? I went to physical therapist and he's like, man, yeah, I know you can turn this way, but you got to modify so you're not overreaching that way. Stay aligned, everybody. Stay aligned to your breath. Gaze in the middle of your eyeballs. Breathe in. Warrior two. Right? Your gaze and your breath are critical to your focused practice, to staying present. All right, so Zach, face your left knee over toward the small toe of your front foot. Be safe in your knee. And then go to extended side angle. Your interpretation of it, right? Whether you put your elbow on your knee or your fingertips to your mat or block. Wherever that position is for you, I invite you to lift your bottom ribs away from the earth so that as you exhale, you can turn a little more open. You fill up with air to ground yourself, and then you exhale to draw open. Breathe in, low plank. Upward facing dog to open your chest, and downward facing dog to stretch out your backside. Focus on one thing with your eyes and be attentive to your breathing pattern. Get it to be deep and slow. That's what your body's, that's all it's crying out for is give me oxygen. I will move with you. So give it what it needs, plenty of oxygen. Get on your toes, bend your knees, inhale, look forward. Exhale, walk or jump. halfway lift, fold forward, chair pose, right? So intentional, more weight in your heels than the front of your feet. And top of your head, lift it up toward the ceiling. Draw your hands to heart center, breathe in, and then put your left elbow to your right thigh. And then just be mindful, because your right knee is going to draw back away from your left kneecap, which is not safe for your lower back. Even up the front of your knees. Get your chest up higher than your hips. And then, yeah, play. Move your hands apart. Maybe go to side crow. Maybe play with breathing in this pose, right? This is new. All right? Squeeze your legs into the muscles, like your muscles into the bones in your legs. Breathe in. Turn open a little bit further. Ragdoll. Take your feet out nice and wide. Bend your knees pretty good. And rest your chest down over the top of your front legs. The front of your top legs. So the wider your feet, the more stability you generate. That's why I ask you to take them out wide. Now latch hold of your big toes with your middle and your index fingers. And I don't mean just like kind of weak grab, but reach around your toes and hold them. Pull yourself towards the mat with your arms. Hold on to your toes. On your inhale, halfway lift. On your exhale, bow forward. Come halfway up. Make your back flat by bending your knees more. And then fold. One more halfway lift. Don't forget your neck. Tuck your chin so your neck bones go long too. Then fold forward. Great, good. And then let go of your toes. Put your feet back together. Maybe put a little cheesy grin on your face and come into chair pose, right? Because you love this pose, right? If you don't like the pose, say the name of the pose to yourself. It kind of delights you. If you just say Utkatasana, right? Yeah, it takes all the heavy out of it. Draw your hands to heart center, inhale, and then your right elbow to your left knee. And just mind your kneecaps. That's all I'm going to ask you to do for your healthy sake. Just hold your knees together, bring your hips down, lift your chest up, and expand from here, right? Or don't. You don't have to expand. Stay right where you are. Go to a place always on your mat that feels healthy to you. You know you better than anyone does. Go to that fun and healthy place. Breathe in, a little more open. One more inhale, ragdoll. Take your feet out nice and wide. Bend your knees a little, right? Give your lower back a break. If you're tight there in the back of your legs, bend at your knees. Gorilla, put your hands up underneath the front of your feet all the way, so that your toes are right up against the creases in your wrists. And now you reverse the weight distribution. You try to put more weight into your hands than is in your heels. Maybe just try one foot at a time. All right, with that sensation of one heel up, put it back down, lift the other one up. All right, play with it. We work awful lot as humans on this planet, especially as Americans. We work, 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 work. Play here on your mat. Take a deep breath in, and then let it all out. Then you put your hands flat on your mat in front of your feet, and you got a couple options here, all right? So if Sean would just do a squat for me, that's one way, okay? Just a squat like crow, or into crow, all right? So you put your knees up on the back of your upper arms with your feet together. And you just stack your elbows over your wrists so you're like on a seesaw, right? Your elbows are the fulcrum, and you're just kind of leaning forward a little bit. Breathe. Wherever you are, take a deep breath in, and then get into low plank, however it works out for you. And then inhale on your up dog, and exhale to cause down dog in your body on your mat. Now, I don't know if this is like sacrilegious. We're not supposed to do this, but I'm going to give my friend Sham a little assist. Right? And we're so into not touching anybody anymore. Got cooties. Get on your toes, bend your knees, inhale, look forward, walk or jump. Feet together, halfway lift, then you fold. Chair pose, right? So weight in your heels because your legs are working. Eagle. Wrap your right leg across your left leg, and then like the fullest expression is bring your right arm under your left arm. To the degree where your shoulders don't feel bound up is where you go with your arms. If your arms throw everything out from your waist down, like to come out of balance, maybe today just back off. Hold your eyeballs centered in their sockets. Breathe deep and slow. Take a full breath in, right back into chair. Or Utkatasana. And an eagle, left leg over your right leg, and then your arm bind. Left arm under, arms crossed, hands together with your elbows coming in. The idea that your arms get to a place where you're able to move your upper arm bones back, where there's liberation in your shoulders, right? Where you can breathe steady. Take a full breath in, and then we're all in low mountain. Hands by your side, both feet on the ground. Just set a position of alignment. Structurally feel aligned. And tree, bring your right foot up into your left leg. All right. So all at once you feel balance. You're standing on one foot. I also encourage you to feel the hip opening aspect of the pose. As your right pelvic half draws open. If it's a little wobbly, you know what? So what? Reset your gaze, get into your breathing system, and create a little more stability. Take a full breath in, and then you're back on both feet, and then switch your feet, left foot to your right thigh. If that's a little high, put your left foot on your calf, or put it down on the ground like it's a kickstand. Some days that's what I gotta do, and that's okay. It's about working your edge, but not going beyond it and falling off the cliff. And you go to your edge with your gaze and your breath. Take a full breath in, and then back on both feet. If all of you would come up to the front of your mat, right to the edge of it, see the edge of your mat, and that's the space you play in, on the edge. Extended mountain, breathe in. Exhale, bow forward. Come halfway up, high plank. Hold high plank for a moment to bring your attention to your core. Uddiyana Bandha. Breathe in, and then you go low. When it's time to inhale, you do up dog. And when it's time for you to exhale, it's down dog time. And it's all back to earth now. This little pause, this little inversion causes your central nervous system to calm down and reset. Okay, warrior one, with your right foot moving first. Both feet are engaged. Ensure your feet are engaged. You feel it. It's like an equal sensation in both feet of ground in this. Draw your hands to heart center, inhale, warrior two. Right. And then you generate a sense of broadening, opening up the front of your body through your hips and your chest. Zach, just look at the middle finger of your front hand, brother. Yeah, see you, man. Feel you. All right, and then triangle. Straighten your front leg and touch your right fingertips to the outside of your front leg. I highly recommend a block for this. All right? Because I see so often there's just this attempt and this reach to get your fingers to the ground and your bottom ribs collapse. The idea is that both sides of your torso are about the same length here. All right? Breathe in, lift, and then exhale, an expression of malleability. One more inhale, warrior two. Mindfully come back up. And exalt your warrior or reverse your warrior. Exalted, your hand goes straight up, reverse, go all the way back. Breathe in, low plank. And then time your up dog because an inhale's happening and your exhale happens, so it's down dog. Then warrior one, move your left foot to your left hand. At your own pace, set it up from the ground up. Have your eyeballs centered in their sockets and look at one thing in front of you that's not moving. Hands to your heart center, breathe in, warrior two. All right. Good, alignment. Watch your front knee though. Make it face over to the small toe of your front foot. And then go into your triangle. Straighten your front leg, left fingertips to your mat or block. And again, I really recommend a block for this. Absolutely ground your feet into your mat. And make the sensation like everything but your feet going up toward the sky. And as you exhale, that's your opportunity to bend a little in your back if you're so inclined. But not forcing a twist ever, just where your breath will take you. Breathe in, a little more open. One more inhale, warrior two. Set it up smartly, healthy. And then extended, exalted or reverse your warrior. As you inhale, breathe big in, low plank, you flow. And then you cause a flowward motion into up dog and a flow of motion into down dog. I love practicing so close to the ocean here. The flow and the liquidity of the water. And that's how we attain like the vinyasa. So there's a firmness, there's a power behind the energy of the water in the ocean. And just like you're this powerful fluid movement of breath and attention. Y'all could just come onto your hands and your knees. Tabletop. So again, alignment. Have your knees be under your hips and your wrists underneath your shoulders. Spinal balance. Press your right heel toward the back of your mat. So it's just as high as your hip. Then just simply lift your left arm up. All right. Definitely reach back with your right heel. Only I'll ask you, only lift your left arm up rather than reaching out with your left hand. Lift up your left arm. And I know you're like me because you're a human being. Your belly's going to want to droop. Draw the pit of your belly in and up. Extend open. Take a deep breath in. Child's pose. Take a rest. A slight respite. Just to nurse your breathing practice. Tabletop, y'all. Come back up. Your intention to feel structurally aligned. So you're really standing on your femur bones, your upper leg bones, and your arm bones. And press your left heel back with intention. Hard. And simply raise your right arm up. Try to get your right shoulder to be above your right ear. And pull in the front of your torso. Pull your bottom ribs in, draw your belly in. Hold your back flat and long. Have your gaze just down at the inside of your left hand. Feel energetic and long. Take a deep breath in. Child's pose. See how big you can stretch your lungs open. People will say, well, I'm not flexible enough for yoga. Well, I know your lungs flex open and close, so you're flexible enough. So the expansion of your lungs expands your practice. Take it from somebody who knows. Try to muscle your way through the practice and survive on, haphazard breathing. That's one way of practicing. Versus breathing with intention and calmly moving through challenging aspects of the practice. Take a full breath in, downward facing dog. We'll do camel. So stand on both of your knees. And you raise up your head toward the ceiling. Now, one way of doing it is put your hands around your lower, your sacrum, just above your kidneys. You want to press into your kidneys and your adrenals, right? So down on your sacrum or a little higher up by your ribs. And then you just lean back, not with your hips, lean up with your chest, right? Work leg energy. Squeeze the muscles in your legs into the bones in your legs. That will create a suppleness in your spine. Take a full breath in, downward facing dog. And if you don't really believe me about the leg thing, try it on the next camel when we get there, right? Really work to ground your knees and feel the opening it creates in your back. So come into camel with intention, right? I know it's kind of awkward. You don't really feel your feet, but you can make your knees feel like they're your feet. Squeeze your leg muscles in and then lift your sternum bone up toward the ceiling. Check, can you swallow, right? If it's hard to swallow here, roll your chin down so that you can ensure you're breathing. All right. Take a full breath in, downward facing dog. Stretch your back out again. I would tell you what, why don't you move your head around a little bit just to ensure your neck is real loose. You'll build up tension in your neck even though it's not intentional. And then do another camel. Right? First one's like, all right, I'll do it. And the second one's, okay, I feel like I'm warming up. Third one's always the best one. So your best one, right? You're really engaged in your legs. Your breathing is rhythmic and you flow open. All right? So I'm just telling you, the more you breathe, the more better you'll feel. Take a full breath in and then go open a little further. One more inhale, downward facing dog, y'all. Stretch it all back out. Stretch it out. All righty, come into high plank. And we do this, but we don't really do floor work at the boxing gym that I go to because it's kind of grody right now, I guess. But what they do is they call it mountain climber. So you're going to bring your right knee up into your chest and then push it back. Bring your left knee up into your chest and then push it back. In and out. And you can start to build up a little pace here. So you're working a little bit quicker. So you're running up the mountain here, right? Breathing, breathing. In and out with your knees, purposefully driving your heels back and drawing your knees in. Stay in it. Stay in it. We're going to go for like 5 seconds, and everybody can do a thing for 5 seconds. Keep breathing. Feel it in your core. Come on, work it good, everybody. All righty, everybody lay down on your belly. Lay all the way down on your belly. Take the load off. That's good, right? Feel the earth underneath of you. I always I want to take a moment to be thankful to the earth and its solidness. Because it is solid, we can push our bodies into it and extend out, up, away from it toward the sky. So as you lay on your mat on the earth, just a moment of gratitude for the earth underneath of you, and the space around you, and the people that you're practicing with, this community that you're with. Even if you're in a space online, no one's around, we feel you. You're with us as we are with you. Go ahead, turn your head the other way. For sure, I mean, you probably heard that's a truly missing in our society today is just a sense of community. There are communities, but they're disparate. They're set apart. If we all just could come together in the name of love, man, so much would be different. So again, I just appreciate you loving all of yourselves enough to come out and practice tonight. It's admirable, and I thank you for that. Cobra or upward facing dog, you have a choice. So if you're not familiar with the difference, it's the same posture, only in Cobra you don't lift up your pelvis, you don't lift up your legs, you keep your elbows bent. If you want to straighten your arms, I implore you, lift up your hips, lift up your legs. You're going to throw your lower back out if you don't. Push your chest forward, feel your lungs full, downward facing dog. And a moment to reset. Take this moment and reset your breath. Good. I'm just feeling it. We're going to do frog. So come down on your knees. Face the right side of your mat with your knees spread apart. All right, so you're literally, what I'm going to ask you to look for in your body shape are 3 90-degree angles. So your torso is at a 90-degree angle with your upper leg, your lower leg's at a 90-degree angle with your upper leg, and your ankles are at a 90-degree angle with your lower leg. 3 90-degree angles. That's the start position. And then you start to bring your elbows to your mat. Put a block up underneath of you for support. There are some positions in this practice where just kind of getting into position to get into the pose is already uncomfortable. And I would offer that those times may be your most learning times. Of late, my wife has really gotten into this woman called Marie Kondo. She does cleaning, exactly. Very methodical. Everything's organized. The biggest takeaway thus far is the word joy. You keep with you what brings you joy. If you bought it 10 years ago, 20 years ago, somebody gave it to you, it's a treasured gift, you know, but it's kind of lost that joy. You see it and it just doesn't spark joy, then it's time to let it go. And then you assimilate, you bring back things into your life that only bring you joy. So you're not cluttered. And this letting go it seems tough. But the idea is whatever it is you're going to give away, you look at it, you thank it for its time that it brought you joy or it brought you whatever, and then you say goodbye to it. It's really that simple. Some of these heirlooms that my mother had given me that were so like filled with some emotion and, you know, it just almost like was wrong to get rid of them, but they didn't matter anymore. I have my mother still. I have memories of her. It doesn't take a thing for that joy to be there. So be thankful here. This thing that you've got your body and just it's not going to last. Be thankful for what it has to give to you and sit with it for a moment. Breathe with it for a moment. The biggest advice I could give you here is get into your breathing practice. Get into it. Be in it. Be one with your breath. Take a full breath in, thank it, and then you're out of it. Slide all the way forward onto your belly. Once you're down on the ground on your torso, straighten your legs. That's the safest, best way to get out of it. The floor is clean, Zach. It's okay. You can get your sweat on it. We'll sanitize it, brother. It's all good. We will clean it up. All right. Then wherever you are, if you just get back onto your mat in a seated position, facing the front of your mat, take your time. Take your time. Hi there online. I see you. Roll it out. Get back up. All right. And then just put the front of your, put your feet together. Please humor me and put a little bend in your knees, everybody. Just bend them a little bit. Relax through your arms. Lift up through your spine. Tall through the top of your head. Breathe in. And then you reach out with your chest over the front of your upper legs. Flat as can be in your back. This position is about making your lower back longer to pull all that tension out of your lower back. So as you inhale, lift a little, get up tall through your lumbar spine, and then reach towards your toes with the top of your head. On an inhale, a little more long in your lower back, and an exhale, a little more flat and fuller fold. One more time, a little lift. And an exhale, fold forward. Again, like an envelope closing, fold over your legs. Then you simply come up to seated, move into fish, where you just come all the way onto your lower arms and look behind you. Some people think the pose is to have your head on the ground, and that's not it. If your head touches the ground, well, wonderful. It's really not about getting your head on the ground. It's staying healthy and experiencing an open sensation in the front side of your body. Lay your toes forward, stretch out the front knuckles of your toes, stretch out your ankles, your legs, your abdominal muscles, stretch your chest open, breathe. Feel your throat, the front of your neck open up. Take a full breath in and roll your chin into your chest and come all the way to your back. And wherever you are, you move into your inverted position. Personally, one of my faves is waterfall. Put a block under your hips and raise your feet toward the ceiling. I also like to do traditional headstand and shoulder stand. So those are options you can do. You know, if you're really feeling gamey, you know, handstand, that's a little more work, obviously. The sense is, though, that whatever it is you're doing, you feel rejuvenation. Because all that rich oxygenated blood you've created in your body is now moving down into your axial body, your torso, to cause rejuvenation of all your vital organs. And if you are in a shoulder stand, go into plow. Put your toes all the way to the floor over your head. See where you guys are in line. You're all good. Excellent. Stay keyed in on your breathing. Even if you have your eyes closed, I'll ask you to hold your eyeballs centered in their sockets. Hold your yoga gaze. Then if you are in plow, you go into deaf man's pose. Perhaps cover your ears with your knees. Stay in your breath, everyone. Good. And then from plow, deaf man's, you go back into plow. Put your hands on your sacrum, and one leg at a time, you raise up into shoulder stand. Everybody breathe in. Let it go. Supta Baddha Konasana. You have a choice to stay on your block or pull your block out from underneath of you. And feel the presence of the earth underneath you. Surrender to the earth underneath you. Steady breath, steady gaze. Take a full breath in. Open your mouth and let it out. Shavasana. Just roll open onto your mat as though you're like liquid, like you're just a warm pat of butter that just was melting in a pan. Let your subconscious mind take over your breathing. Enjoy your rest. Fill your lungs and empty them. Whatever movement feels good for you to bring full awareness back from that place of conscious rest. Stretch or wiggle, whatever that looks like. Folks, bring one knee at a time into your chest. Embrace yourself. Roll onto your right side. And so your eyes closed, you look straight through the back of your eyelids with your eyeballs centered in their sockets, your gaze set. Come up to seated, where you generate again the feeling of alignment physically. You feel aligned with your breath. You feel aligned with the space that you're in of your body. 3 ohms. Inhale. Draw your thumbs to your forehead, fill your lungs. Namaste. Awesome. Thank you, everybody. I applaud you. Give yourself a little hand. Yeah. Some studios may poo-poo on the idea of applause after a class, but man, give yourself a hand. You did good work, so I think you deserve it. Thank you, everybody online. What I do want to tell you about, there's a lot of talk of revolution and changing things in the world nowadays. What we have as a personal level of revolution is what's called 40 Days to a Personal Revolution. It's a 5.5-week program that's centered on asana, for sure. Meditation, maybe that's new to you, you've never tried it. That radically changed everything about me was when I started to meditate regularly. A little self-inquiry and asana. It's really like a book club, plus it's a community thing. So we get to read together through Baron Baptiste's 40 Days to a Personal Revolution. We answer questions, we figure out where we are, where we're going, what's going on with us, and then work our bodies through like a 40-day revolution of health. So it starts on June 28th. We're going to meet once a week just to check in with each other, chat about how we're doing. We'll meet at Southside Studios where it's taking place. So it's Sunday evenings. We all gather together and just share, right? And then whatever, it's a very secure, confident place. Where confidentiality is key, but it's led by yours truly. I've done it many, many times. I'm excited to do it again because I know personally I can use a little kickstart in the healthier way of being. And also in July, Leah and Amber, 2 magnificent teachers here. Is it Amber this time or? Oh, Holly, Amber, and Leah are leading a arm balance. So upside down, it's a Monday to Wednesday evening class where you can cultivate places that in your practice you've never gone to before, work muscles and balance and structure that will really not only get you standing on your hands, but be so much more benefit to the rest of your practice. So that starts July 6th, okay? If you have any questions about anything like that, you can ask me. Ms. Sham here is to answer any questions. Guys, thank you very much, all of you online. I appreciate you. I hope everyone has a wonderful evening. Hydrate. It's wicked hot already again in Florida, so get the liquids back in you. Go safely wherever it is you get into, and I pray that God blesses every single one of you mightily. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.